For this next game, feel free to
do this.
Intro us.
We have CheckSix Mystik, a Zerg player that I have not seen for quite some time, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. The map is Icy Cup Testbug. In the top left-hand corner, we have Rain's Korean All-Star Artist, who just devastated Maker in a TVT on the last map, and I believe you had a funny little quote.
Well, yeah, I'll mention. Okay, so prior to this game, it was announced that they were going to be playing on Icy Cup Testbug, and Artist was like, I've never played on this map before. What are you talking about? They don't use it over in Korea. And so Frank, his manager, basically told him, okay, it's all right, play standard, Planetary Fortress, expand towards a Zerg, you can control the map better that way, you'll be all right. And Artist was like, okay, I'll go in now. And so that was his how he got into this game. Whether he can back that up or not, we'll find out.
Good mindset. I like it. I would like to have a player like that on my team as well. Okay, I go win now. It's like, my job is done. Go do just that.
Well, when you have a player of Artist caliber, it's pretty easy to do. So there we are. CheckSix Mystik, though. Let's see what he is going to be up to here in just a bit. Like you said, you haven't seen a lot of him lately.
No,
but a very, very solid player.
Yeah, he's been around forever. He's been around for a really, really long time. And, he's a good player. It looks like he's going to be going with a 15 hatch here, and I think that's a relatively good build on this map. It's pretty safe. The rush distances are pretty far, and you want to get that natural up, obviously, and he's sending out a second drone, it looks like, to scout. Is he going to go to the top left with that, or is he going to go to the right side? He looks like he's headed over to the right.
He's only set one right-click, so we won't be able to see the rally points, but it looks like he is making his way over to the right-hand side. And to those asking in chat, it is... I realized we weren't using the other scoreboard, my apologies. It is, in fact, in favor of Rain, 4-1 at this point. They only need one more to secure themselves another $500 first prize, and they look well poised to do that, but Mystik stands in Artist's way.
He does indeed, and that would be a nice little $1,500 opening for Team Rain here. They're really starting to rack up the cheddar if they can maintain their position on the Game of Thrones. Be careful when you play
the Game of Drones.
The Game of Drones?
You win or you die.
You win or you die. All right.
I am reading so much Game of Thrones right now, it's stupid. Almost done with book 4. Oh my god, so good. Anyway.
Yeah, it is an amazing series. I actually am still waiting on one of my friends who has 10 pages left with book 1. And then I will start reading that within the next week here.
Good.
To and from the subway.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yes. I do that on Muni every day. But anyway, it's surprising how many people are reading that too. But nonetheless, getting away from the game a little bit here, looks like Mystik is transferring over some drones over to, looks like it stopped him for a second, possibly
we did have a Marine poking in at the natural that's now headed back to Artist's base. He's going to hightail it out of there. 8 Zerglings in production. Wow, he forced a lot of Zergling production right there.
Yeah, he did.
8 Zerglings now coming out for Mystik. It looks like he really panicked. 2 Queens as well, so stifling his drone production for a little bit there. And Artist is most definitely going to be safe to this. And interesting build coming out of Artist here.
Yeah, I noticed.
Very interesting build.
Double gas. He put down the 2 gas before he built the second barracks, so I would have thought he would have just gone into factory after that. But nope,
1
second barracks coming up.
Second racks.
Yeah, and that command center is about to finish. A few Zerglings are going to poke their way up, but of course they're not going to be able to get in. May catch this command center in transit. Nope, looks like it's going to morph into an orbital command right away.
Yep, and his wall is going to be relatively sturdy here. That Zergling will get taken out. He does see the second racks, no add-ons. What add-on will we have here? Will we get a factory immediately after this? Yes, we will.
There's one.
Factory is on the way, and he's just going to continue to produce Marines off the double racks. And I really like this. Wow, second factory as well. I really like this build so far out of Artist. He has great production capability. If he's trying to hit a timing here with Blue Flame, oh god, that's a lot of Zerglings. Get out.
Yep. And Artist's going to try and do what he can, but unfortunately that's just too many Zerglings. All those Marines are going to go down. This build looks very similar to what I was seeing European players do in TVT earlier this year, where they were going fast expands into tons of racks, tons of factories, and then just mass-producing Marines and Hellions, just using them as throwaway units, expanding all over the place, almost playing a very Zerg style of game, where they could just mass these very cheap units and just throw them in waves at their opponents. Looks pretty similar to what we're seeing here.
Yeah, it does, actually, and his push is going to be pretty sizable, though. It's going to be a lot more Marines than a Zerg would normally anticipate. Actually, he's relocating that racks pretty far back, so it's not going to be producing for a good bit here. I'm not sure. Oh,
and
Speedling going to sneak in there and most likely...
Take a look at his vision there.
I think he saw it. Yep. He sees both factories and the command center on the left-hand side. So he knows the orbital's up. He knows the 2 factories are up. So he should prepare accordingly. We have 2 more spine crawlers going down. We have another queen in production, and we have a couple lings in production, as well as the lair and an evolution chamber.
Yeah, so Evo Chamber coming up. I'm curious what he transitions into, though. We're still waiting on some sort of tech to come out of him, although he does know that he's going to see Mass Marine, Mass Hellion, at least for a little while. He's not done any creep spread quite yet, curiously. In fact, this is the very first creep tumor he's even put down in this game 8 minutes into it, so a little bit slow on his creep spread, and there we go. He is going over to Spire Tech. Need to see where that Spire is actually coming out. There it is, in the back of the natural.
There she blows. The Spire is on the way.
Blows.
Is he gonna be able to deal with these Mutalisks? Is the Spire gonna come up before the push? If he can get out, a flock of 9 to 10 mutas, it's gonna make things very difficult for Artist. If Artist hits that timing window and he gets in there before the mutas pop, he's gonna do a lot of damage here, losing a couple lings right there, trying to sneak in. And
lit a tree on fire. That is BM.
That is very not environmentalist of him at all. He's burning the trees.
And he wants to move to San Francisco with rain. That is not going to fly here.
Foolhardy.
I am sorry.
He's going to be like one of those foolhardy San Francisco tourists that you see walking around with shorts and a t-shirt in the middle of the city.
Hey, I still do that as I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, okay? I've lived here for 3.5 months now. I don't even care. Don't judge me.
Well, you said your weather extremes were much more serious from
St. Louis? Yes, absolutely. Now, Artist does manage to pick off 1 creep tumor and a few lings there. He's not going to be able to break the wall right away. At the same time, we see Mystik going to a 3rd base, but it looks like it's going to get found out. Artist does see that he is going to force the cancel unless Mystik wants to send in some units to take care of that. Interesting. Actually only using 1 Hellion to take that down. That'll actually give time for these Mutalisks to pop up and save that base.
I love the fact that he has those 2 Thors on the way, though. Those are going to pop right as the mutas are getting ready to head over towards his base, and he has Combat Shield and Stim finishing at roughly the exact same time here. So these mutas are going to be completely shut down, and that's going to put Artist in a great position going into the mid and late game here. He's also going to keep most of these Hellions alive, so in the event that the 3rd does get up and he Maynards over to the 3rd, he's going to have the option for Hellion Harass here, and I love that he didn't get too greedy with the Hellions. Yeah. Didn't poke too far, didn't try and force damage, kept them alive, and now his army is pretty sexy at this point, and this Thor is going to fend off these mutas easily.
Yep, mutas are forced to back away, can't even stop the construction of 1 lonely starport. The muta numbers are growing at the moment, and we do see +1 added to that as well. Mystik is on 3 bases for the time being. It seems like I have a little bit of S turning into SHs right now, a little bit of a Sean Connery going on, but I have no idea why that's the case. Artist, though, he has a bunch of Hellions out, just continuing to poke and prod with those, which I love. Like you said, not trying to overcommit them, not trying, not going to get them killed, but he is just testing the waters and making sure that he's establishing himself map control. Yeah,
Artist is a very smart player from what I've seen so far. I like a lot of what I see. And here we go, those Thors taking some pod shots at the mutas here. Mystik needs to be a little bit careful. He's really going after those Hellions. He's just not happy about them at all. Continuously chasing those Hellions over and over, but eating Thor volleys. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it for him right now. He's going to go ahead and try and head up over into the main here and do some additional harassment, but man, look at the production out of Artist right now, adding 2 more barracks with reactors. Got the double factory, getting a reactor on that starport, so he's going to be in a position to really start pumping units here, and it looks like he's going to hit the 3rd with a timing window here. That medevac potentially going to get picked off.
Oh, but he runs into the Thor. Is he going to be able to take that up? Has to make sure that he doesn't group himself up. At the same time, though, looks like this Thor is eventually going to fall. There it goes. At the same time, we have a big push coming out of Artist. It's going to make its way down to the 3rd, like you were saying before. How many units are going to come in and save this, though? It looks like a lot of mutas, but that's not going to be able to stand up against the Marine force that's already there. And I think Artist is going to be able to take down this base.
Yeah, that's huge for Artist. He really needed to take that out, and he got it. That's for sure. He did lose that Thor. I think he might have lost another one as well. The Thor's just falling behind tremendously. And wow, Zergling surround coming out of Mystik here. All the Zerglings will go down, but he will clean this up with Mutalisks. And more importantly, he has been doing a great job with Muta retention this game. He's
certainly
only lost a few Mutas. He's taken out a couple Thors, so...
Yeah, the only time he got a little bit greedy was when all the Hellions were grouped up here over towards the natural of Artis. But other than that, he's been doing fine. And Artis has actually been stuck on 2 bases now. It doesn't look like he has an intention to expand, which is kind of interesting given the fact that Mystik is expanding once again. Looks like he's going to make his way in, doesn't even care. He's going to try and take out this Thor. The Thor does fall. The missile turret will not. That came at the cost of, I believe, 2 Mutalisks, 2 more almost dead as well. The Marines were forced to stem in, but unfortunately, Artis does lose his Thor.
And he might lose this turret as well. It's burning down to the ground.
No! Okay, get saved.
Whew.
We're all right.
Sweat off the brow.
Shh.
And is he going to get a command center? No, he's going to get an additional 2 Thors and a command center.
Okay, yeah, that is coming up. So
gonna probably push after he gets those 2 Thors out? No, he's just going to head straight across the map once again and try and do some damage here. He needs to worry about the backside of his natural. He does have 3 turrets up, though, and those are in pretty good position. He still could potentially harass the gas here. Is he going to take out these 2 refineries? Yes, I believe so. So that's really going to stifle Artist's gas income, and that's got to be frustrating.
Yep, he does manage to take out a Mutalisk in return, though. I've got to say, Artist's Marine numbers are not quite what I thought they would have been. He actually had almost as many tanks as he had Marines there for a little while, but now he has the Thors coming out to join this.
Yeah, and his Thor is stuck between the 2 factories. That is so epic frustrating.
Oh, but he lifts
pick
it up.
that up with a medevac and get it out of there. It's annoying to have to use that extra micro to get units out of a trap pocket. It's just so frustrating, but nonetheless, he will get it out, and he's going to drop it on the low ground, and he's moving out with a pretty sizable push here. Artist is down on supply by 3 right now, but his army is just huge, and he has Blue Flame Hellions, Marines, tanks. Well, no Hellions anymore, but he has tanks, Marines, Thors, and medevacs, and I couldn't think of a better unit composition to deal with what he's up against right now.
No, not at all. And those Mutas are going to make their way from behind. If they clump themselves up, they've got to watch out. They may be able to pick off a couple of tanks, though. Ooh, they do get away. So many of them yellow bar because of the way they were grouped up. It looks like he's going to be able to continue doing his damage. Artist does manage to secure the space for a little while. Those Mutas try to come out and harass the command center, but once again, more of them going down. Artist has actually pulled a supply lead here, and like you were mentioning, the range of those Thors, plus all those Marines, fairly mobile Marines, are actually pretty good counter to what he's seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Mystik looking to commit a little bit there. Gonna go ahead and fall back, and Artist wants to snipe a few creep tumors here. I think he's gonna drop a scan and take out a bunch of creep tumors, and that sucks for Mystik because he's been spending so much time building his pretty little creep network. And oh my god, that stim from Artist, allowing him to kill so many units right there. He really needs to get those creep tumors on the left-hand side right now. They're causing him all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Forcing that creep up near the natural. I don't know if he has enough scan energy to do so.
And here goes Mystik. It looks like he's going to make his way into the... Okay, now decides to reverse course, not going into the natural. He is just going to pick off these Marines. Excuse me, and he will be able to successfully do that. Thor's coming across to do a little bit of damage. Are not going to get there in time. Looks like Mystik is going to run right into the natural, but that is pretty well defended.
Yeah, it certainly is. That Thor up on the high ground. Ooh, mass repair going off on that turret at the gold. Nice work thus far out of Artist. He's picking off Mutas here and there. He's slowly whittling down the Muta ball, and that's really important for him right now. He needs to be careful with that dropship, though. It could potentially get shut down by these Mutalisks. I don't know why is the dropship queued up away from the Marines right now.
Huh, and maybe just trying to get some units out of position for a little while?
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know, but Artist has seen, Mystik has seen that this isn't resulted in any drop yet. There we go, the Marines are finally caught up. They're going to stim in, take off a few drones, but here come the rest of the Mutalisks. They are going to be able to clean up that force, and unfortunately, these reinforcements for Artist aren't going to be in time, but here come the Banelings. Mystik just trying to bust his way through, wasting himself against a few of those siege tanks, but he does get off a few clutch Baneling bursts. But it looks like enough Marines have stayed up to be able to deflect any sort of Mutalisk run-in after those forces were done.
Yeah, I think Artist definitely got the better of that exchange right there. He was able to kill all the Banelings. We don't even have more Banelings morphing in yet. There we go. We finally have an Infestor up, and that will take down several Marines. He's going to send all of his Mutas into Magic Box here. He might be able to kill everything. No, more Marines are coming to reinforce, and hopefully some more siege tanks. Yes, we do have one more siege tank. But Mystik doing a great job holding on right now. He's had a couple pretty big victories here. It's going to be difficult for Artist to press the issue here.
Such a good fungal growth goes down.
God.
All those medevacs reduced to almost nothing. There we go. The last few are going down. Just this Thor up, and these very, very injured units are remaining. So very clutch fungal growth there. And I gotta say, Mystik's actually at a pretty good place right now. There's a lot of SCVs coming off the line to go ahead and repair up these mech units, but Mystik, he's able to replenish his army so fast. Does he have... Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Greater Spire just now coming up, so he will be able to morph in some Broodlords eventually, but I don't know, man. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's looking real solid right now. I don't know what Artist can do to recover here. It would be an excellent recovery if he manages to pull this off. He just needs to be very careful, very meticulous. He's going to try and deny the Zerg 5th here. Zerg going for that gold 5th in the middle of the map. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that. He's going to siege some tanks up and try and get him on out of there, but these Brood Lords are going to be coming soon enough here, and Artist really needs to make something happen before then. If he waits till the Brood Lords are out, that could be devastating for him.
And the Infestors are coming up one more time to drop down a couple more fungal growths or so, I would assume. Nope, they're just there for show, just checking out the front, saying what's going on, guys. And Artist does successfully deny that 5th like you were talking about, and it looks like he's going to be able to take out the 4th as well. Hatchery down to very low health, and it is going to fall. And at the same time, we have our Corruptors queued up over to the left, but they're still waiting on that Greater Spire to get done, so there's not much for them to attack right away.
That was super important for Artist right there. He needed to kill that 4th, and he's continuing to kill a lot of units. He has a tank on the low ground. He's just shelling away right now, managing to bring that supply differential back just a little bit. And we do have Broodlords on the way now, but he is super gas starved. Mystik cannot support these high gas units. He's going to have to go with mainly a Ling combination here, and that's not what he wants right now. He wants to continue to build Infestors. And why are there only like 5 SCVs at the gold right now for Artist? He needs to... Oh, there we go. Some just showed up, and he's about to get his 5th up as well. Or his 4th up as well, rather.
Yeah. He actually floated over his command center from his main to go ahead and pull that off, which means this gas mining not exactly going to be efficient there. But nonetheless, things have stabilized for just a second. Both players are in rebuilding mode. Mystik wants to go up to his 4th and 5th base once again. He does have a number of Broodlords out. Artist is producing Vikings, but it's only been 1 or 2 at a time, and that may not be the number that's required to deflect not just the Broodlords, but also the mass number of Corruptors that are with them.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He needs to use his ground and air forces in conjunction, try and pick off those Corruptors while using the Vikings to snipe the Broodlords. If he can set up a situation like that, he'd be in a great position to make something happen here. But if he can't get that, Mystik might just be able to run him over with these Broodlords in this next push here. There's a ton of Infestors, there's Corruptors, there's Infestors. I mean, this push right here from Mystik is looking nasty.
And it looks like he's going to go right after the Planetary Fortress. There's not much that Artist can do about this right away. He's got to send some SCVs down to repair. There we go. Finally, that's happening. At the same time, we have a few more units waiting in the wings now for Mystik, waiting for the units to come up and engage. And it looks like the Planetary Fortress may go down. It does. That is very, very big. Mystik now going to turn his attention to the rest of the forces, and these siege tanks are going to go down without putting up much of a fight. In fact, inflicting more damage on their own SCVs than anything else. The Marines are left, but with the amount of Mutas and Broodlords and Infestors that haven't even been used yet, I think Mystik has more than enough to deal with the remaining units.
Yeah, I do too. Although you got to hand it to Artist, he's managing to make a game of it. He's holding on here, but things are looking very difficult for him right now. Mystik is going to surround his entire army here. Fungal's going off on everything. And oh my god, Artist is getting devastated.
Wow, and so we see the new Korean pickup from Team Rain may fall here to CheckSix Mystik. Mystik is, of course, Team CheckSix's last hope. He is their last remaining player, so he's got to make something happen. There it is, the GG.